Hello everybody and welcome to Talaria Soft YouTube channel. And if you are thinking about building a website in 2026, you've probably asked yourself about this. Is WordPress still a good alternative? But before we go any farther, let's do a little clarification on what WordPress is. WordPress is a content management system, or CMS. A CMS is a platform or a tool that lets you create and manage a website without needing to know how to code HTML, CSS, backhand code, and so on and so forth. So you don't need to code anything. You just have to put your text, your photos, your videos, and your content on that CMS. That CMS will be the basics, the base for your website. This said, let's talk about the possibilities of WordPress in 2026. First, let's talk about numbers. WordPress powers over 40% of the websites all around the world nowadays, and that's massive. To put it into perspective, other CMS such as Joomla or Drupal just occupy a tiny part of that market cap. So for example, Joomla occupies 3% of the market cap, and that's a lot of websites. A lot of websites. We're talking about millions of websites. And Drupal occupies just 1%. Most competitors don't come even close to those. So WordPress is still the dominant platform, and it is massive. Think about 40% of all the websites in the world. That's huge. But that dominance doesn't mean that it is growing right now. So is WordPress growing or declining? Here's the honest answer. WordPress is no longer growing fast as it was in the past. It's a major market. And what does that mean? It's stable. It is huge, as we said, but it is also more competitive, and it's losing ground in some areas to Shopify because it's easy commerce, Wix because it's beginner friendly, and Webflow because it's designed for focused users. Advantages of WordPress. Let's start with the good. Full control. With WordPress, you own your website. There is no platform lock-in, no sudden account bans, no hidden rules, and that's huge. You are independent. You own your website. You are its owner and its controller. You have full control. You also have flexibility. You can build almost anything with WordPress. Blogs, e-commerce, business sites, membership systems, anything. And you can stand anything with plugins. There are more than 100,000 plugins in WordPress nowadays. And plugins are add-ons that you add to your website to give it more functionality. Another great advantage of WordPress is that it is open source. WordPress is not owned by a single company, and that means long-term stability. Imagine that you build your website based on one company or a CMS offered by a company, and then that company goes bankrupt and they don't maintain the CMS anymore. Then you have a problem because your website is going to get obsolete in no time. Another advantage of WordPress is that it is a massive ecosystem. It has thousands of plugins, and as I said, nowadays it's around 100,000 plugins. Imagine the the amount of functionalities you get with those 100,000 plugins. It's huge. And many of them are free. You don't have to pay anything for them. Some of them, the ones that give you an edge functionality, something cutting edge, or something that it's very advantageous or very useful, might have some price. But most of them are free. You've got a huge ecosystem of themes, which will be the ones that give the vibe, the colors, the fonts, and so on and so forth to your website. And there are a lot of developers that are developing WordPress day by day. So if you need something for your website, be sure that WordPress has it. Before we continue, a quick note about hosting. If you're starting a website and don't want to overcomplicate things, I've personally used Hostinger as a hoster, and it's one of the simplest solutions out there. If you're not familiar with the term, a hoster is simply the service that stores your website and makes it accessible online. Therefore, if you want to create your website, you are going to need a hoster. And Hostinger is a great option for beginners. Nowadays, with its AI tools, you can get your WordPress site up and running very quickly. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to check it out. And you will get a discount if you use that link. Now the problems, and these are real. Let's go with the disadvantages. The first one is complexity. WordPress can feel overwhelming. Too many plugins, too many settings, too many decisions. Second disadvantage, maintenance. You need to update your plugins, handle compatibility, deal with bugs. It's not set and forget, but let me be true about this. Nothing in the web is. As the technologies for web creation are always developing, and nowadays with the AI, imagine the pace of this development. Nothing is set and forget in the World Wide Web. So you will have to maintain it, you will have to scan for bugs, you will have to update your plugins and update also the looks of your website. There is a third point, a third disadvantage of WordPress, and it is fragility. Things can break. Why? Because there might be plugin conflicts. If you install too many plugins, there might be conflicts between them, and some functionalities might break. There might be theme issues. There are plugins that don't go well with some themes. That's also a problem. And updates might go wrong. So an update that might go right for another user might go wrong for you because of your configuration. So it takes a bit of time, and it takes a bit of investigation from your side to just configure your website the way you want. So, as you might have imagined, performance depends on you. Unlike other platforms such as Shopify, WordPress performance depends on hosting, configuration, optimization, and that makes you the one responsible for all that. So, all this said, what is the future of WordPress? What's next? Is WordPress going away? No, by any means it isn't, but it's changing. There is more competition, more platforms like Wix and Shopify will keep growing because they are simpler. AI integration is also another challenge. AI will automate content, customer interaction, website management, and WordPress needs to adapt. Users want fewer steps, faster setup, less technical work. And that's easy to understand because users want to concentrate on growing their businesses and not on technical issues on their platforms. Nevertheless, remember the strongest advantage you've got with WordPress is the independence. In a world of increasing restrictions, owning your website becomes more valuable nowadays, and WordPress is still the best at that. So let's conclude. Is WordPress still worth it? Yes, but not for everyone. Use WordPress if you want control, you want flexibility, and you are willing to learn. Avoid it if you want something instant, or if you don't want to deal with technical issues. WordPress is no longer the easiest option, but it's still one of the most powerful, and perhaps the cheapest, and the one that gives you more independence. In the right hands, WordPress is unbeatable nowadays. If you found this video useful, feel free to like it and leave a comment with your thoughts or suggestions. And consider subscribing if you want to get more insights about building websites. Thanks for watching.